Before we move on, there was some curious questions to see if you could shed any light on if there's any kind of and maybe Jocelyn, you can help me out here because I'm this is more of a telephone game. What is the current status of the galactic presence, whether positive or negative, specifically maybe in Canada or in Nova Scotia, right where you are? There's been I'm on a Nova Scotian, so I don't know what some of these feelings are, but Nova Scotians seem to be very, very passionate about their area, and there seems to be lots of deep state activity, but also lots of sacred space and areas. What does this area mean to the galactics? What kinds of things have happened and are happening right now?
So I can only comment so far because I can't speak for them. But there are some beings coming forward in this future conversation that can answer that better than I can. I can say that under Nova Scotia, under Halifax, there's about 1.25 inches of quartz that runs along the peninsula. And that attracts more spiritual people. That is an energy fluctuation point. And my ability to work better, I feel more clear in those areas.
Excellent. Kat, please make a note so we can remember to ask that question again later. Jocelyn just wrote down any. What about Shag Harbor? Any feedback or insight on that?
Again, that's the question.
Okay. No, I like it. Okay. So at this moment in time, David, would you like to give us a little bit of an intro or rundown of what you can and what you know of the Yahyel?
Sure. I can tell you what I think I know about the Yahyel. Okay, so the Yahyel are beautiful species. They're 50% human and 50% other. So they look a lot like us. They are a mix between grays and humans. So some people are familiar with the grays. They're like 4 foot tall gray beings with almond-shaped eyes, black eyes. Anyway, that's enough about the grays. But the Yahyel they look at us like parents because our genetics created their species. So because sorry, I just heard this noise. The Yahyel, they're beautiful, they're compassionate, they communicate from the heart, they're very humanoid, they have emotions just like us. Some of them are even more sensitive than us emotionally. They have a deeper sense of emotional connection than we can have, that I'm aware of, because they're telepathic. They're a very telepathic race, and they can do a lot of really wonderful things. Physically, they're anywhere from about 4 feet tall to 5'3", perhaps. Some of them have hair, some of them don't. They don't have black eyes like the grays do. Their eyes have all the human colors available, but there's also different colors like Pleiadian, like turquoise, that we don't have, and different shades of yellow that we don't have as well. They can speak. So they're a race that speaks. Some races are only telepathic. Some only speak. They can do both. And yeah, they're really friendly and fun.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for that. Everyone, if there is nothing else, I think we've been at this for an hour, so I think we're going to move into the next part here. And David, whenever you're ready, we will welcome our next guest.
Okay, so I'd like to do a little bit of, I know I did a little introduction, but I just want to give everyone a little bit of an idea as far as channeling goes, just for your question's sake. When I'm channeling and speaking to a being, the being that I'm speaking to is often a representative of their race, or it's a very curious being that just wants to pop in and say hello. Now, You might be speaking to a king or a queen or some ambassador, some being of great honor and responsibility for their people, because they are, as an individual, representing their entire race when talking to humans. So many times species will put their best foot forward and put their best speaker forward. Although that's not always the case, just be mindful and respectful to who comes through, and keep in mind that their specialty is probably in politics or communication, and not astrophysics or perhaps science. It just depends who comes forward. And I'm not quite sure exactly who is going to come forward. I just received a heads up that the Yahyel were coming through. So I don't exactly know who's coming.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I guess whenever you are ready, thank you. We are ready.
Okay, it's just going to take me a moment to prepare myself, and when I start speaking, then they're here.
Excellent.
Okay. Ah, yes. Greetings. One moment, please. Ah, very good. We are here now with you. Greetings and welcome, everyone.
Welcome. You are most welcome here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Ah, it is a pleasure to be here amongst friends.
Excellent. We are friends indeed. We have plenty of questions to ask. So I hope, if you don't mind, if we get cracking.
Of course, crack as many eggs as required.
Excellent. Thank you. So there are plenty of hot topics right now happening on our planet and in our country specifically. However, we are all being affected right now by this great conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn happening. Can you offer any insight to how that's going to affect us, what we can do to really harness the energy coming in, and what's going to happen afterwards?
This is an excellent question. Allow yourself to be present within the radius of the sun. What we mean by this is to allow yourself to absorb the radiation that the sun emits to you. Do not burn yourself with these radiation waves, but be mindful to absorb this radiation. It is being influenced by the planets that surround your system at this time. And because of this planetary alignment, which is forthcoming to you, then it will cause a greater amplification of information to come through you and to be integrated within your genetic system on the energetic layers. We apologize. The channel has had supper shortly before this.
That is all right.
Now, we understand that many of you are curious about astrology and things and the effects that planets have regarding you and your system. We understand those astrologists that are interested in such trends pay close mind to such particular situations. But it is important that one focuses on the reality which you are standing within. It is important to focus on your life, your experiences that are third density being, with these astral components complementing you rather than hindering you and taking you away from your regular 3D life, which can be complemented, but should not be augmented by these other energies and experiences. So pay mind to focus on what is important in your life and accomplish that goal first. Now, regarding planetary alignment and Jupiter and Saturn, we do believe you said.
Correct.
Yes. We will need to access our database. One moment, please. Yes. There is energies coming from these planets. There is always energy coming from these planets. But because of the closeness of the planets, it is realigned in a particular way that the energy is amplified. Now, this will make way for great powerful beings to arrive on your planet. This will allow for the souls of great beings to also come forward. Now, this is a wonderful thing, as it was required of Jesus for the disciples to be present and hold the space before he was able to come aboard the planet. So, in the same way, such energies alignment will cause a great shift in the field of the planet itself and the auric distribution of the planet. So, with this in mind, this is one of the things that will occur due to the effect of the planetary alignment regarding Saturn and Jupiter.
That's excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that knowledge and that insight. That is definitely an interesting topic right now, and everyone's discussing it and wanting to be involved. Another topic that has been very curious over the last few weeks that's been happening all over the planet are these monoliths that are appearing worldwide. Some seem to be some sort of human construction, maybe it's a distraction or hoax, or is this a message from a certain ET faction? What are these monoliths, and how do we decipher them?
The monoliths are energetic devices designed with purpose, with quantum purpose. They are being placed by the Pleiadians at this time upon your planet. Now, the purpose of these monoliths, as you call them, they create a field when in full construction. When they are all present, they create a grid that will spread across your planet, allowing for greater sense of communication, as the pyramids once did when they were active upon your planet. Now, these monoliths are not of a similar size or material compositional spectrum, but they have ability to create a matrix of, we do not want to say of consciousness, but it is a grid, a quantum grid, which will be overlaid over your planet, which will allow you to communicate with us more easily.
That's excellent, because I think communication and connection is something that we are striving for. So anything that can assist us with that, I'm sure we would be very grateful.
That is very wonderful. We are very excited to speak with you then.
We have a question for one of our members here. They're curious to know, where do you reside?
Well, at this time, we are residing in a ship, which is just outside of your atmosphere. There are many craft that we take part in, and we move from craft to craft. But at this very moment, we are outside of Africa, actually. If you were to draw a line straight up from the point of South Africa approximately, this is where we would be located.
That's excellent. And I think that's just going to bring about some more questions. So if you are fairly close to us right now in your vessel, how many other factions or groups are around us at this moment, like you, kind of hovering and taking part in different ways?
Well, not any like us. We are unique in our own individuality. But there are many species who are looking upon the planet at this time, yes. As many of you are aware, the moon is an observatory, and they have been looking at you for eons and eons. Now, we know that you are looking for something more specific. perhaps regarding craft, or perhaps just in presence. We are not sure.
I think there's some curiosity right now with all the battles that are going on physically here on Earth. What sorts of battles that are going on up in the heavens?
The heavens. This is an interesting way to put it. As humans once did, we apologize for. There are many battles occurring throughout space, and as long as there is peace, there will be war. This is the matron who said this quote. Now, it is to understand that there is many regions in space regarding Sirius that have battles undergoing at this time. We are not partaking in such a battle, but it is between a species of Lupin and reptilian. Now, they have been battling for a very long period of time over much space, if you wish to look at it like this, in their area, respectively. Now, this Lupin are defending their space, their home, and their adjacent planets from a species of reptilian, we will say. We do not want to be too vague regarding this, but this particular species is not known to humans at this time, so we must just be general. And this battle is taking part right now. There are others that are taking part, but we do not see the relevancy of communicating them to you at this time.
Excellent. And maybe you can shed some light on a very curious question from a lot of people from your perspective and where you currently are. Is there any reality to this flat Earth theory?
This is an interesting topic for many of you. We understand that many of you truly do believe such a thing. For you and in your reality, this may very well be the truth. For us, in our reality, it may very well be untrue. Each of us has our own individual reality, which we have created and which we'll take part in as we grow and develop through our conscious state. Now, to understand that, how is it possible that one can perceive a flat Earth and some of us do not? Well, it is because many of you come from different realities, and many of you have memories of particular things, such as the Mandela effect. There are many of you who have memories, concrete memories, even as scientists who have examined such unnatural planes of the planetary grid, believing that it is more like a disk, a CD perhaps, with a dome on top. Now, for us, this is not the case. For the channel, this is not the case. But for some of you, perhaps it is. So many of you have been battling this concept for several years, very passionately. And you will fight your family, you will fight your loved ones and closest friends, and you will tell them that you are right and they are wrong. Now, is this healthy? You must ask yourself. How much of this is relevant to your everyday life? If it is true, then perhaps you will lose your friends and family because it is true in your reality, but not theirs. So one must ask oneself, is it worth the battle? We do not think it is.
Excellent. That's an excellent answer. Thank you. We have a couple of questions here. We're going to keep moving forward. What can we expect, or can we expect any assistance or support from you or other space beings in regards to our battle here taking place on Earth at this time?
Are you regarding the Americas? Are you regarding COVID? Are you regarding many different things that are taking war on the planet?
That's an excellent question. There are many battles going on right now. I think if we can sum it up as a battle of good versus evil.
We can say that we influence you in many different ways. In our influence, some of you have suggestions and ideas that come to you. You may believe it to be your consciousness speaking with you. but oftentimes it is us communicating with you. Now, we understand that many of you do not believe in non-terrestrial existence, and that is okay. But it does not mean that we cannot communicate with you, and you cannot receive our energies from where we send. Now, to answer your question, do we help you? We would say that even at this very moment, we are sending you and giving you information that may assist you in your development. It may assist you to change your perception, as this example of flat earthers, for example. What if this bit of information affects many people, and this information is spread to more henceforth from this point? Perhaps this trend will change upon the planet, and then there will be less internal war regarding this subject. So, in such a way, information is a great, beautiful thing, and it can shine in many different ways. We help in very many ways regarding regarding your planet and things that must be regulated on the planet, and indirectly regarding energies and influence.
Excellent. Will humanity rise above our current chaos and move into the light, or face the truth about this parasitic invasion?
The truth. This is unique to each individual and their belief system. There is no one truth. There is no one individual except the one. And we would say that it is up to you to decide, as you manifest your greatest creation right in front of you, as you wish to create it. Yes, we did say recreate, because you have been here before, and many of you have been through these different time layers of expansion in different ways. So find the footing that you require to find your way through the fog and move forward through it. There is a way, and you will find it.
I like that, finding your footing and moving your way through the fog. That's very beautiful. We have a question regarding jade. Can you elaborate on the importance of having a jade succulent in your home?
A succulent. One moment, we will look up this species. If we are not mistaken, we believe this is a flower.
Correct.
Well, this particular species has a relatively high vibrational point. Therefore, it would extend its radiative, this is not quite a word, but we have said it, energies in a small radius around the plant that may or may not influence you. If you are able to sense energies, feel energies, then you may want to place it closer to you on your work desk, as these energies may complement you in different ways. Other than that, it is a beautiful flower. It is something that brings you joy. If you look at it, then it is beneficial to have within your system. If not, then discard it.
Excellent. That's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so we have a little bit of a localized question. The channel lives in the province of Nova Scotia, and we have a lot of members in that area. Can you tell us, is Nova Scotia a safe haven for the cabal? What kinds of entities or groups are interested in the Nova Scotia area? And what sorts of special attributes does Nova Scotia possess?
We will say there is no safe place for the cabal.
I like that.
They are being expunged from the area. And if we had our way, they would be directly removed by us. But due to protocols, we are not allowed to directly intervene in such a way. So as weeds tend to dig deeper and deeper into the planet to ensure their survival, the cabal does such a thing as well. Now, regarding the second component of your question, can you repeat it, please?
Yes, we're focusing on maybe some special attributes of Nova Scotia, and what sorts of groups or non-terrestrial beings are in Nova Scotia, or maybe under Nova Scotia at this time.
This is an excellent question, and a very secretive question, actually. But we can say some limited information regarding this. There are small colonies at the southern point of your Nova Scotia, past your Halifax region. There are isolated colonies of beings that live and exist, that are holographically cloaked, so they are not to be seen, living peacefully within your environment. Now, many of these beings are peaceful. They have their own flora and physiology, which is unique from you. They cohabitate with you, yet you do not know of them. They are beings of great grace and honorability, and only seek to have a safe place procured for them, so they do not need to fear. This is the reason for their station. This is why they are being protected by your government. So, because a species is upon your planet does not make them aggressive, does not mean that they are here to take your resources, merely means they are parking for a period of time until it is safe for them to leave again. Now, is Nova Scotia a hotspot, we believe, for those nasty things? Is this not true? Something of this nature.
Yes.
We do not believe it is a hotspot. There are hotspots in New York and in England and DC and Hong Kong and several other areas. But the hotspots, primarily, they are not in Nova Scotia.
Excellent. Sticking with Nova Scotia, or the region, just for one moment, can you share with us any insight about a connection or relationship with the Atlantic or Atlantean energy?
Yes, a long time ago, there was a species of Atlantean which existed upon these waters. Now, the planet was very different at that time. Approximately 37,000 years ago, there was some continental shift and drift. This caused many isolated plains of land to shift and become sunk. And due to the sinking of such colonies, much technology was lost. Many lives were lost, and many beings had to take movement to other areas of the planet regarding the internal Earth structure and regarding space-faring planetary societies. So for this very reason, they had to move. Now, these beings still do exist upon your planet. They are waiting for a time where humanity can absolve themselves from such irrational thoughts, disturbing things that tend to run through the mind of the human. And so they may come up again from, I do not want to say from a cave. They are extremely advanced species, and they live a very, very long time. Many of them still remember the time of Atlantis, actually. So if you were to speak with one, they would have many wonderful stories.
That does sound wonderful. Okay, switching gears just for a moment. We do have a couple questions about one particular topic. So stick with me as we go through them.
Of course.
Is the law of one an accurate path to higher consciousness? And an adjoining question: will humanity advance enough to throw off the shackles of our organized religions and embrace the law of one?
Humans are on a particular path of expansion. This law of one which you are referring to is the ultimate goal. You We desire that you are able to communicate with each other with love and compassion without worrying, is this person going to betray me? Can I trust this person? Is there things that they are going to do to throw me out of balance in my life? This is the ultimate goal, for you to be peaceful with one another. And first, you must find the differences that you have with each other and understand that these differences are okay and accept them. And as you move forward in your development from thought form to thought form, you will find that there is less and less difference that separates you than that which brings you together.
Can you break for one moment and give the channeler a drink, please?
Yes. We are not familiar with the layout of the location.
He should have a glass of water in front of him.
Which may take us one moment. We have found it. Excellent.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
That is very good. One moment, we are still putting down this object. Please continue.
So we were talking about the law of one.
Yes, the law of one, regarding your religion.
Correct.
Much is to change in your near future. This year of 2021 is one of great change. It is not just the change of people and the minds and the belief and trust in your government. It is the belief of all that is. What do we mean by this? This is a very vague statement. Yes. What we are saying is that although religion has existed for a very, very long time, there will be aspects of religion that will be found that interlace them together, creating a unified religion. Now, religion can be a difficult subject because it allows for much conditioning of the mind, which disallows much of your natural human ability. So it is very important that you allay such conditioning in order to embrace that which is your true self, to embrace the power that you exhibit within yourself. It is important that you forget what others want you to learn and begin to learn for your very self, from your very self. Now, for many of you, this will be a journey, and it may take some time until you achieve such a place in your life. But keep in mind that what other people want you to know desperately bad, they hammer it into you over and over. It is because it is for their agenda. Whether this be the news or perhaps such COVID premises. It is because they want you to know this information. You must ask yourself, why do they want us to know this? Is it necessarily for our safety, or is it because of some other procurement that they have in mind for us? So with that in mind, we would say regarding religion, it is changing its foundational situation.
That's excellent. Thank you for shedding some light on that one. Switching gears back to some crystals, someone would like to know, or sorry, Dada would like to know, how potent is shungite in energy work, clearing spaces and using it for protection?
The shungite is an excellent material to work with. It is black in nature, shiny, and at times it can be silverish color, depending on the amount of carbon it has within it. Now, the shungite stone comes from Karelia, a location of Russia, and it has come from the stars. Its properties have fullerenes, which help with the clearing of water. It can be used in the diffusion of water molecules in their station. We'll say that it breaks off factors that are harmful for your body, and we are just paying mind to all of your energies as you are thinking of buying some of this shungite at this time. But that is okay. It is a good stone to have. Someone might wish to have much of it, as it has electromagnetic properties, and it changes the fields that surround it to be of a more positive nature.
Excellent, excellent. It's great that you shared that. And we did have someone come on and show us by connecting their shungite to their flashlight and then turning on their flashlight with just using their shungite. So some really excellent tools we do have at our disposal.
Yes, it does have some electromagnetic properties as well.
Okay, we briefly spoke about quote unquote cabal and how much we don't like them and how much we want to get rid of them. We have Raymond asking, is the cabal an Earth problem only, or is it a universally wide parasite?
It is an Earth problem, but they have extended themselves into space already. Now, as far as a universal problem goes, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most biggest problem, 0 being no problem at all, they are perhaps 0.1 or perhaps 0.01 on the scale of problems. They can be quickly eliminated, but it is not required that they are eliminated, as that influence has a particular meaning. They are representing a particular aspect of the human consciousness. And although this may be darker in nature, it still serves a purpose. This purpose is different from that of the primary consciousness of humanity, but it still serves the purpose of duality, which you are taking part in with your third density experience. So, is it a problem in space? We would say no.
Interesting. Thank you. So we have an interesting question from Karen. Karen would like to know if you could offer any clarity on the value or usage of non-government cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin.
Would like us to give such information regarding Bitcoin?
Yeah, so the any clarity on the value or the usage of non-government cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin?
At this time, we would not use our resources to help one gain financial gains. We hope you understand. We would say the best investment is the investment of yourself to help yourself grow and your family grow in turn. Take care of yourself and your family with sustainability, self-sustainability. You may wish to replace your grass with a garden so that you do not be reliant upon your grocery stores. You may wish to have an electric car so you are not reliant on electricity or gasoline. So this is the best investment that one can take. It's self-reliance, and it is personal power development.
I really like that answer. Thank you very much for that. I think there's some concern amongst not only the membership here, but the populace at large, with governments right now calling and talking about great resets and using, some quantum currencies, and, whether it's the cabal or the good guys, trying to control that aspect of the monetary system. Can you offer any insight or any kind of feedback on the progress of that? And is this something again that we can basically just manifest out of our experience not wanting to participate in that program?
We would say that many of you are already out of this reality. There are many of you who are stuck in it because of constant reinforcement due to your news that you watch on a daily basis. Much of this reality can easily be shifted into a more bright future if you focus on what is important and what excites you in your life. Move forward with the development of yourself and the knowing that you can achieve whatever it is that you desire, as long as it is realistic within the time constraints of your physicality and the limitations of your physicality. Now, regarding these currencies, which are upon your planet, there is much change that will happen in your future. And 2020 was a crazy year, as one might say, but there is still crazy to come. So embrace your sovereignty. Allow yourself independence from those who supply you with that which you need to sustain your life. And you will be fine. You will not need to worry about anything. This is our greatest recommendation.
Excellent, excellent. Hopefully, next up, a simpler question. From which Louise would like to know, from which dimension do you originate from?
Well, we originate from the fifth density, but I have dropped myself down several dimensions to speak with you, and I myself am of a fourth density consciousness at this moment, but I can move between the layers of expansion and move into different layers of consciousness when required.
Excellent. So going off that, your group is a collective consciousness. So what is do you have an individual role and position amongst your group? And what is that? And what brought you to us today?
This is an excellent question. Well, for myself, I am an engineer. I work on many things that need enhancement within the ship. There are many things that need to be fixed and improved as time progresses, as it is perceived for you. Now, regarding, we were going to speak of our crew, as there are many who are here listening to this conversation, who wish to take part, but are limited only by their one mouth of the channel, we would say. So, in a way, there are many speaking to you at this time, and not just Yahyel, but other species as well. And if it would be okay with you, there are others who wish to come forward.
I would, if they are interested and you are willing, I'm sure we would like to say hello.
Very good. We do not have one moment. We are communicating with them at this time. We do not want to dodge your question either. We are seeing who would serve the greatest good regarding your conversation and answering such questions. A very interesting choice, but someone wishes to come forward to speak with you at this time. It is a he. His name is Yang-shi, and Yang-shi is Lupin, a wolf species. We would transition out and allow him a moment to speak with you, as it is not common for Lupin to speak to humans.
Thank you.
If that is okay.
Of course.
Very well. We will return in a moment. Greetings.
Welcome. You are most welcome tonight.
Thank you. It is wonderful to be here. I am Yang-shi. I come with great honor.
Excellent. We were speaking with the Yahyel earlier, and they mentioned that you wanted to come forward and speak with us. Would you share with us what you would like to pass on?
Yes. Your environment, it is important. It is, we cannot speak as deeply as we would like, so we must not speak with our natural voice. Your environment is poisoning yourself. We come from a tribal race who takes great care of our environment and those within it. If you cannot maintain your environment, how can you maintain yourselves? Humans must remain homeostatic within their environment so they do not corrupt that around them. If you are unable to sustain trees, the foliage, species upon the planet, then you may not be allowed another. Pay mind to this, as it is of great importance for your governments to know. And if they wish to take planets who already have beings upon them, then they will be removed. So, this is our primary message, but we will honor other questions.
Thank you. Actually, I am kind of curious. The Yahyel mentioned a war or a battle going on right now with a reptilian faction against your group. Can you shed some light on what is this about, and how are you dealing with this onslaught?
Onslaught is a proper term. The battle has waged for many thousands of years. It originally began with an insult of one culture to another, an ignorance of one to one of station. And because two proud races cannot seem to drop their guard and allow the other to insult them, the war began. Now, it has happened, as we said, for many thousand years. And we are very stubborn people. We do not wish to give up any of our ground, as it is our home planet that we are referring. So we fight to the death. Those who are stepping upon our region are invasive. They have conquered many planets before, and they will expand further yet. So, did you have any particular details regarding this?
There is a follow-up question from a member here. Is there anything that we can do to help facilitate our communication with you and help you in any way?
Well, we would have to think about that for a moment. We are being supported by Yahyel and other craft members to hold space for us. For any of you who are taking part in holding space, we understand, although humans are not well practiced in such things, this dibble-dabble of holding space is useful and helpful for us. So we say dibble-dabble because although humans set the intention to hold space, they often are distracted by many different things, whether it be through information or environmental factors. Holding the space truly means being present in that moment, holding the space. It does not mean holding the space and then listening to the conversation and then going back to holding the space. We hope you understand this.
Of course. Thank you.
So it is a devoted function of an individual And we have many who are helping us. Although we do appreciate your support, it is not required but appreciated.
Okay, thank you. I have an interesting question here. Nordic and First Nation cultures have legends of wolf beings and wolf magic. Has your species interacted with these cultures or any humans previously?
Yes, we have been on your planet many times. And although we do not interact often, we are not a species who is well known to you. We are present and have intermingled and taught some Native Americans the way of the wolf. This is a ceremonial process of shape-shifting. It is merely an oscillation, a changing of frequencies within the shaman or the holder of the pipe, whatever it is they wish to refer themselves as now. Much time has changed since we have spoke to them, but they still remember the old ways and they honor them.
Excellent. We have a question. Are Lupins, are those beings seen at what we call Skinwalker Ranch?
Are you finished your question?
Yeah, they're described as shapeshifters.
What they are perceiving at the ranch of Skinwalker is a rip in the space-time continuum. It is a fractured component of your matrix, which is allowing beings from other realities into your reality temporarily that fluctuate in and out of oscillation, which would make them physical at times and then vanish at other times, or perhaps they will teleport from place to place within such fields limitations. Now, this rip in space, or however you wish to perceive it, is not beneficial to the environment that it is in. And because it is torn, it has been observed by many different species who are observing temporal shifts and rifts that exist naturally upon your planet. So, in a way, it is a science project, but we are not related to this Skinwalker wolf being.
Excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. More of a generalized question here from one of our members. When or if will there be peace throughout the universe, the multiverse, and the omniverse? Or are we basically going to see constant war for infinity?
Well, war is something that is constantly occurring within all systems, relatively. It is something that one can choose to engage in, or one can transcend above. One does not need to focus on such things of war to have a happy, wonderful life. And one does not need to be in such wars in order to win, to make the war stop. When one war ends, another begins in a different area, in a different region, as this is the focus of many of your subconscious, which is constantly battling each other's and causing turmoil, which you find exciting to look at. Many of the humans upon the planet are warriors, and without war, a warrior may fall flat. Without excitement, without battle, this is what nourishes the soul of the warrior. And battle does not necessarily need to be physical combat, nor terror or bombs and things of this nature. It is merely the instinctual function of the warrior to overcome difficult situations and troubles that are in their path. and they will always continue to act in such a way to overcome that force that is allayed against them.
Excellent. Thank you for that. We had the Yahyel representative said that he was an engineer. What is your role in your position?
We are that person that sits in the chair and fires the laser beam at craft.
Understood. Very good. We have an interesting question here from Don. Don says, there is a coming temporal agreement about to be signed. He would like to know, how may he seal the rift at Skinwalker Ranch? He says that he is a watcher, this world's watcher, and he would be happy to assist your world as well.
The rift can be closed with technology. It is left open for a reason. And we understand the purpose of watchers upon the planet. If one is a watcher, then they are not a doer. We hope this is clear. A watcher observes and takes lessons, writes them down, and has information for subsequent generations to communicate and share. Someone that is of design to do such a task will do such a task. But if you wish to do such a thing, then we would say one would require technology, which can push the layers of experience together to create a force field. It is difficult to describe. This is a quantum technology which we are referring to, and we are speaking of it in a linear way. There are technologies that would be required to be placed on either side of the rift. So first, you would need to find where the rift is. Then you would need to create technology on both sides of it. Then create a field which is emitted from both devices at the same time, simultaneously, so that it would press the edges of the rift together again. Skinwalker Ranch, in this occurrence, is a place that has several of these rifts. Some are higher in space, perhaps 1,000 feet up. Some of them are only 250 feet approximately up. So one would be required to create technology to reach such a plane in height, and then one may be able to close such rifts. Thank you for your question, Don.
And thank you for your answer. Okay, we have a question about, Karen would like to know what is upcoming for us in 2021. Will we have more freedom to travel freely without special permissions or vaccinations?
When something has great energy put within it, it lasts for a longer period of time. If you can imagine the media's intent to put the thought of COVID into your mind, it creates a thought form within yourself as an individual. And as an individual, as you think of COVID, you manifest COVID. We are not saying that you will get sick from COVID, but we are saying that you are being a part of this collective consciousness, and creating that which is COVID. The more of you who think of such a process, who think of it, you cause this thought form to last for a longer period of time. And there are many, many of you who are taking part in this experience of COVID. When you find that this is not relevant and we do not care about this anymore, you stop watching your media, which is feeding your subconscious mind, then you will find a way that you can overcome such objections in your future reality. Regarding your ability to travel and things of this nature, as we said, a slow ball moves. A large ball with great mass moves slowly with no momentum. The momentum you must create yourself by moving on to what else is important in life rather than COVID. And as you create the slope, the ball will begin to roll. And the more people that stop caring about this COVID, the less it will exist within your reality. And the faster the ball will begin to roll until it has gone down the hill, so to speak.
Excellent answer. And that's definitely a theme that we're seeing this evening. Again, manifesting what we would like to bring about. Yang-shi, if I could please invite you to just move the channeler a little bit and take a drink of water for yourself, please.
Yes. Refreshing.
If you would like a drink of water, I believe there is a glass of water in front of you.
The channel is okay for water. Thank you for your consideration.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so we have hopefully an easy question for you. Yang-shi, we're curious to know what you physically look like.
You're curious of me. Well, I am approximately 6'5" in height. I stand on 2 legs. I have 2 arms like you. My coat is white in nature. I have several scars on my body. There are beings of werewolf which look something like me, but my nose is not quite as large, or my snout perhaps. We are rather lean species. I weigh approximately 165 of your pounds. And I have very fast reflexes. Are there further questions?
I don't see any other further questions about your physical nature. I'm personally kind of curious though. Can you describe your relationship? Please correct me if I'm wrong, with the Woven Kings or the cat beings.
The Woven Kings, we are required to such a database to find such a terminology. This is another lineage of Lupin. They existed a long time ago. And although we do not communicate with them, we are looking at our charts now. We are not fully familiar with their history, so we apologize we cannot properly answer this question. Regarding the feline race, though, we have battled with them before. They are very commendable species. They are strong in combat and very honorable and compassionate beings.
It sounds like you respect them a lot.
We respect those who can stand in honor, who can be courageous when required, and to those who act with righteousness in the moment of crisis.
Excellent. Moving on to something a little bit more spiritual. Is it more important to develop ourselves personally now, or to develop community of like-minded people for the betterment of global consciousness?
This is an excellent question. There are many who would be better to answer this question than myself, but I will do what I can. If you imagine yourself as a lighthouse can emit light to many different beings. But if the lighthouse is not turned on, then it cannot help anyone to raise any light on any situation. So, there are many ships in your waters of life. If you are not able to light the way for them, then they may find their way upon the rocks. So, turn on your lighthouse, pay mind to your own needs, grow and develop and shine as brightly as you can for the world to see. And the brighter you shine, the faster you will notice your comrades grow. Whether your comrades are in your near environment, or perhaps they are in China, in Russia, in the Amazon. It does not matter where on the planet they are with you in spirit and consciousness. So shine your light as brightly as possible, and do not be afraid of anything that may be before you.
Yang-shi, I think you did a great job answering that question. That was beautiful. Sticking with you for a moment, are your ships visible in our skies? There's a theory right now that our skies are just full with cloaked ships.
We are not directly in your environment at this time. We are above your environment. By your environment, we are referring to your atmosphere. But it is true that there are many observing you, like those in Nova Scotia, the species that our Yahyel friend referred to earlier.
Yes.
So they are observing you on a very close basis, but they are not allowed to interfere. Now, there are many who are cloaked within your space. You're near to the exterior of your atmosphere. We apologize. But they are not allowed to intervene past the atmospheric properties of your environment. So they do what they can with scale, we apologize, with scanning of many are interested in geography, many are interested in the consciousness of the human itself, many are interested in different species of flora and fauna upon your planet. And there are many who are interested in the agendas of humans. Now, we do care for the common people. We see the trends in the minds of man. By man, we are referring to woman as well. And we can see where your thoughts go, especially in the darker places, as they stand out to us to be healed. And it is difficult for us when we cannot help you, when we cannot stomp out that darkness and allow you to heal to a greater capacity. But it is of your government's requirement that we stay out of it and allow you to function within your own system independently.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Yang-shi. How does a channeler feel? Does he need to get a drink of water?
He is okay, but we would ask of the attention of your current members. Are they fading? We can feel many of them have suppressed their energy somewhat and becoming strung out. So we do not want to perhaps take up too much of their time.
No, you're probably on point. You know, we were talking with the channeler for an hour before we started this segment here. So I'm sure everyone's just a little bit tired. It is tough though. There's still a whole bunch of great questions. How about are you able to maybe give us any kind of closing remarks from your end, and then maybe we can bring back Yahyel to close up tonight?
Very well. We think it would be best, rather than transitioning between being to being, for me to relay the message, if that is all right.
Please, whatever is best.
We would speak with him now. One moment. Very well. We are not the best speaker of all people. And we are not the most well-versed in communication with humans from our crew even. But we will say, many of you bright lights are shining at this time. And this is the time to shine. There is no other time. So as you find this flicker within yourself, follow it. This is your happiness. This is your excitement. Find new circumstances to live your life. And by this, we mean find environmental factors that keep your life exciting. Do not do the same thing every day, but move around and try new things. Explain what you know to others to help them in their understanding, as it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to raise an adult, but not many humans say this. So we would say, this glorious, radiant light which you are is of great nature, and it is of great property that you use such light to fend off that which does not serve your greatest good, and instead move towards your greatest satisfaction and that of your inner peace. This is our closing message.
Thank you so much. We send you all the love and compassion that we can possibly send you, and we look forward to when we can communicate again.
Very good. I am Yang-shi, and we salute you.
Thank you. Welcome back, David.
Thank you.
I think, yeah, you definitely need a drink of water after that. Wow. Really looking forward to you watching some of that video afterwards. Some great content there. I'm a little lost for words. We still got questions, but I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time and the energy, sharing with us about yourself today, and sharing with us your wonderful, wonderful skills and wonderful messages from our galactic friends.
Thanks so much, Philip. And thank you everyone for having me. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to be here, to have the opportunity to help you guys in any way, shape, or form that I can. It is a great honor for me. So I don't usually speak to as many people as this, to be honest with you. So I feel all of your energies as you think of me and as you watch me. I can feel that, and it's something that is really beautiful. I hope that each of you can find your way. Oh, the beings are still here. Sorry. So I hope that each of you can find that path of individuality which you have in your life. And if you're able to grab onto a little bit of that, do it a little bit at a time. And remember, you don't have to just jump to the next step. It's always done in baby steps.
Absolutely. And everyone, please remember, David does have a YouTube channel and a website that is in the chat at the very, very top. He does lots of great services. He even does some workshops. Do you want to give a quick blurb, David, about the workshops that you provide?
Sure. Well, I have something I call the mentorship program. It's 3 months long. And I take someone from square one or wherever square they're on, and we do several healing sessions. We include a DNA infusion for my crew, who you just heard from, a couple of them anyway. And we actually do a physical DNA infusion, which can help raise IQ, EQ, psychic abilities, turn on genes that are good for you and turn off genes that are bad. It does a lot of different stuff, and there's information on my website about that. My mentorship program, we do healing, and then we build you up from the base all the way up, from protection to ethics to how to awaken your psychic abilities. And we learn about all different species that are interacting with Earth, and lots of other fun stuff. And so far I've had 3 people that have done that, because I just started it, and they are all, well, 2 of them are channelers right now, and I just had Gil. He's someone who's going through the program right now. He just seen his first aura and his first being. So people are going from a place of not having abilities to a place of using their abilities, and now the people that have finished the program are starting to help other people to awaken their abilities. So if anyone's interested in that, then that's great.
That's fantastic. Again, we're all helping each other just a little bit at a time, right? Just like you said, that's fantastic. There's lots of thank yous from the chat here, thanking you, David, for again your time, how amazing it was, sending you much love and blessings. So I really hope that we can have you on again sooner than later.
Yeah, I would be honored.
Okay. Just a quick reminder to everyone, please save the chat. There is some great content in there. So if you want to keep some of that, please save that before we go. Again, David does have his website and YouTube channel, so please check that out. This will be posted on there, so you can have some fun and check that out again. Thank you, Karen. She just posted David's website in the chat. So please check that out. A lot of great content, even just on the website. You've done a really good job there, David. So again, David, energy healer, channeler, Akashic record reader. So and many more things. So much more things. There is a long list I am not going to give right now. But once again, from the bottom of my heart, David, thank you so much for sharing with us today, and hopefully we can chat again soon.
Thanks so much, Phil, and thanks for having me, everybody, and being patient. I understand it's been a long chat, so I'm sure everyone wants to grab a drink and stretch and probably use the bathroom soon.
For sure. All right, everyone, have a wonderful night, and I think we will see everyone on Thursday with Roland, right? Roland, with our BC or CCBC Zoom meeting.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, everyone, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.